Welcome to the Read Receipts. My name is Caity.
My name is Jaclyn.
And I'm Devon.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. You guys are both so cute in your Alison DiLaurentis tops.
That was
my inspiration this morning when I was getting ready.
The Alison DiLaurentis disappearance top. Yes.
Gotta
love it.
Got a secret. Can you keep it? Oh, that was a good throwback. I haven't thought about Pretty Little Liars in a while.
Actually, I was thinking about it this morning because I saw a TikTok and it was, I don't know, I didn't think I liked it, but so I can't say who did it, but she was like, how crazy was it that in 8th grade we're all just like sitting in front of our TVs rooting for a student and a teacher, like romance. Like she was how old? And he was 24 or something. She was,
and we were all like, get it, girl. Get it, like, Lucy Hale.
Her parents are trying to hold their love apart. Like, what is wrong with them?
Hot take. I still think they're making each other. I know. I still know. I know more now that it's wrong than I did then, and I still just can't tell me they didn't look cute together.
She wasn't even 18, was she? Was she 15?
No, she was
14?
Young.
13. Yeah, they were like freshmen. No. I think it started when they were freshmen in high school. Like they were going into high school.
But this is where I how old was Lucy Hale at the time? Because everyone we watch in high school is always like 19, 20 plus years old as they're filming it. And I think that really we were told how old she is, so we should have just on a moral level had a qualms. But no, just
no qualms.
She never looked like she was 14 or 15 on that show. None of them did.
I know Alison DiLaurentis, right?
DiLaurentis.
She was like 12, I think, when she did the pilot. Like she was like something like crazy young.
Oh my God.
I was watching an interview with all of them and they're like, no, you weren't. Like you weren't. I think it was like 11 or something or 12. And then when they filmed, she was like 13 or like something ridiculously young. Like, that's crazy.
Wild.
That is so wild. There was a TikTok I saw recently of them, and they were doing some sort of convention for Pretty Little Liars. And someone in the crowd mentioned that Sydney Sweeney was in an episode of Pretty Little Liars, and they were like, what? They were all freaking out. There was there's no way.
It was how old was she in it then?
She was really, really young, and they showed the clip after, and I think what it was the director trying to set up the next generation of Pretty Little Liars, but then the spinoff ended up going in another direction, so it never really panned out. But yeah, because it was her with a group of freshmen, and she was so cute, had little glasses, and yeah, I don't think it ever turned into anything.
Oh my God, that could have been the start of her career if that's the direction it would have went.
Yeah, they could have been Euphoria, but here we are.
The crossover that we never knew we needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you guys read the Pretty Little Liars books?
I think so.
I feel like I tried, and I just don't remember. I don't remember really getting into them.
Actually, I think I did because I remember I was so excited when the show came out. I don't think I would have been that excited if I didn't read the books.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I want to say I did, but I have no concrete evidence to back that up. So, yeah.
Can't confirm or deny.
Can't confirm or deny.
And neither of us know enough to quiz you on absolutely anything, so we'll just take your word for it.
So I did.
So you did.
Yeah.
Update your Goodreads right now.
Okay.
Put in some ratings. Get that credit.
Oh my God. What are you guys reading right now?
Ooh. I am in quite a bit into Heartless Hunter, which I think, why is this book being shown with different titles? Also the Crimson Moth. I know it's part of the Crimson Moth series. It says that on the Heartless Hunter cover, but also I'm just watching people hold up a book that says Crimson Moth on Book Talk, and I'm So what is it? What's the
Is
title
it
of this book?
a UK version that has like a different title?
The UK and the Canada version is a different title than the US version. Because I remember I have it, but then I kept seeing the other one. I was like, I need to get this book. Like, have it.
Absolutely must. Actually, no, I kind of want the other cover too. So that's really...
Well, see, I was having this problem last night because I saw this TikTok about someone who said that the end of Beach Read has a different ending. Like the UK version has a different ending than the US version, which I think I'd heard about before, but she went into like detail of like they don't end up getting engaged at the end. It's like a completely different ending where it makes more sense to their characters. And I was like, I think I would like the book better if I read the ending of the UK. So I went on to Blackwell last night and I was like, oh, I'm going to get Beach Read. And I was like, well, if I'm going to get Beach Read UK, then I have to get the other like UK versions of the Emily Henry books. And I saw that People We Meet on Vacation is called You and Me on Vacation. That's like the UK title. I'm like, it's so close. Like, why are we making it it's so weird. Like, why are we making it a different name?
Another one that I did buy about the UK version of because I thought it was a different book. So I ended up giving that away because I was like, oh,
I already have this.
I recognize these people. I know them.
I think I've read this before.
Yeah. That was like the first Emily Henry, like before I was really into her, like the first book I got from her. So was slightly confused.
I want all those versions just because I also like their covers better.
They're so cute. I just love like the poppy colors. And like, I'm definitely going to get the You and Me because that I think is my favorite of the UK versions. So cute. I do think I like, however, the US Happy Place better than the UK. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I need to get the paperback of Happy Place, even though I have it, but I got...
Wait, you already have... You already have a paperback, but you want a second paperback?
Yes. Because the first paperback I got is a different size because I got it when only hardbacks are out. And they're like, oh, this is like a tariff-free airport version. And it was paperback. I don't know. I got it on Abe Books. So I got it when the book first came out, but it's huge. Yeah. And it doesn't match up like level-wise with the rest of them. So now that it just came out in paperback, I'm like, I should get that, but I already have, like, I don't know.
So many decisions, you know, like
life is hard.
Life is so hard.
Curating a good bookshelf is harder than it should be.
It really is. Devon, what are you reading?
Oh, I have a bone to pick with you guys. I'm reading Daisy Hates.
Okay.
But mostly because I just finished Magnolia Parks. Am I supposed to like BJ? Everyone's like, BJ, we love him. And I'm like...
It's a journey.
I'm so fucking happy with the ending, how it ended. I was like, we're done with him. Goodbye. We're free. And then I'm like seeing him pop up like in this book. And I'm like, are we not done with him? Is he coming back? Like, I'm scared.
Here's the thing.
Okay. Before we talk about BJ, one thing to note is that the way her books are written, they stack. So a book you're reading now is literally happening at the same time that Magnolia.
Which I love. Like, I love getting that, like...
It's like really cool because it's like you don't have to... It's like and then there's little pops of them in the other book that you're like, oh, I can't wait to like get the full... Like to see their version of what's happening. So there's that. But then also... I can always tell where someone is on their Magnolia Parks journey. Is like BJ's like the best like thermometer of like where you're at, because man, they really go through it. But yeah, at this point, no, you don't need to you don't hate him all you want. That's perfect.
Okay, cool.
You'll come around.
Will I though? I really can't stand the guy.
Here's the thing, like a part of me will always. No, a part of you is always going to hate BJ, and you're going to love the other men that Magnolia dates and hangs out with along the way.
Julian right now? They're not even dating. They're not even hanging out. And I was like, I love you. And Tom? Fucking Tom?
I loved, you know what? I have a bone to pick with you, Jaclyn, because you posted this freaking TikTok and you were ranking the men from Magnolia Parks, and you didn't even include Tom. And I'm personally victimized by that because Tom is my favorite.
Okay, well, in my defense, Tom is gone. Tom is like a thought from he is not a character that carries through all of but like he does not. Yeah, cone of silence, Devon, or whatever. His I still like him, but like at this point, there's so many other people that I've that I feel like I'm like, okay, I'm currently thinking of, and I literally made that ranking literally as I had just finished the last book, Into the Dark, yeah. And so like I literally forgot he existed. And that's not any shade towards him because I do remember really loving him, but like she really put us through it. And like really honestly, if I go back to that ranking, you could like move everyone around except for Julian. Julian being my number one.
Oh, obviously. All
that really mattered. I was like, people are gonna pick bones with everything here, and that's perfectly fine because as we know, the algorithm loves when you make people mad. So that worked out for me.
I thought you did BJ. It's number one.
He's number two.
Okay.
Julian was number one. That's really all I care about. I'm gonna be really honest with you. Everyone else is sort of just there and they serve a purpose, but the only man that I am concerned with is Julian. And I know everyone's like, you love Daisy though, so what about Christian? And I'll be really honest with you. I feel like it'll be like the conversation that we are having right now about BJ is where I'm at with Christian. I'm quite irritated with the mans, and I know it'll change in the next book. So like, it's a work in progress, but all that I know is like there's probably no way you're going to remove Julian from my number one spot. Like, good luck.
I will say though, I think, however, BJ and Christian are both tortured souls, and you literally love and absolutely hate them at the same time. But I think I absolutely despise Christian, and I think I always will, and I don't see him coming back from it. I don't know what it is about BJ. Like something about him makes him so like endearing. It could just be Magnolia. I don't know. But then I could say the same about Daisy because I fucking love Daisy, but
I think it's the trauma that they're going through. Like the trauma that BJ and Magnolia have to go through and all this stuff that happens, it changes, that's real life. Like, you know, a person and who they are at the beginning and at the end of something that happened. So we'll see. All I know is, I don't know if you guys saw that, but Jessa definitely confirmed that there is a character death in the next book, or in Daisy's book. So
unbothered at this point. I'm only on the second book though, so
won't even gander to guess. And I personally don't care to hear theories on who it might be. I don't even want to think about it. I know it's going to destroy me. So
I only like 4 people in this book. Most of the characters I fucking cannot stand. I love that I can't stand them.
Okay.
Who are the 4 that you like?
Yeah, let's hear.
Tom.
Good to know.
Julian. Okay. Henry. And Daisy.
Okay.
Even Magnolia. Like, I sometimes I just want to slap a bitch. I'm like, can you please just shut the fuck up? I don't care. And yet I really do. And yet I love it. I'm just like, oh my God.
I think I resonate with Daisy more, and Magnolia is just like such an annoying like sister, best friend kind of character. Like I would probably be drawn to her and all, like, but as people are, like she kind of like pulls people into her orbit. I would totally be drawn to her, but she would drive me crazy. But she drives Daisy crazy, so that kind of makes sense, like in terms of who they are. But
she's a small dose friend. Like, let's get brunch, but then like I need to go home.
I need to go home.
So, do you like Daisy's storyline better? Like now that you finished book 2, right?
No, I'm.
Oh, okay.
How far are you?
This far, just middle. Okay. I guess. Okay. Lots of tabs going on.
I like it.
Love.
Daisy's fine. She doesn't. I'm not in love with her, but she doesn't bug me.
Okay. Okay.
So, I don't know. I think the more I read, the more I'm going to get into it. Yeah. I love the drama. I'm like eating it up.
See, I think that's what these books are. Like, they're so human and so flawed of characters that it's not like I know we all pretend like our fantasy characters are flawed, but they're flawed in a way that, like, you know, furthers their character. These people are just flawed. End of the day, flawed. And so like there's something so realistic about that. It's like it's hard to fangirl over a character that you're like, I don't know if I agree with most of her decisions, but I still want to know what happens.
That's how I feel about everyone in this series.
They just need like a grounded friend. I'm like, just insert me into this friend group and I will set all these fucking fuckers straight because they're acting insane.
Oh, they need someone. They do. Truly.
A therapist.
At least.
At the very least.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's too good. Okay, Caity, what are you reading right now?
On a completely opposite spectrum, I am reading The Tower by Flora Carr, which I had noted in my TBR, and I need to make a correction. I said that it had something to do with the king, blah, blah, blah. It absolutely does not. I do not know what I was talking about. It is about Mary of Scott. Like, same but different.
I think, is that the Tudor?
Like the Tudor. And I think I made a mention about the Tudor, but I also said it has to do with a king. And I'm like, I really don't know what I was pulling out of my ass that day, but it was incorrect information. So just want to make that clear.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah. But it's so interesting. Well, because it's historical fiction and it's not from like any person's point of view. It's strictly from a narrative, or what is it? Narrator perspective. So you're like, overseeing their story. There's no chapters, only sections, and there's like 3 or 4 sections, and they're so long. And I'm just like, huh. And it's not about the point in her life what I thought it was going to be about. It's about like her being pregnant by her second husband, escaping her third husband, and she's locked in a tower. And it's kind of disgusting what's going on with her right now. But enjoyable.
It's not the thing I thought was going to follow what you were saying. Is to say that it was enjoyable.
But I'm loving it.
I'm sorry. I'm still like stopped at the part where you were like, there's no chapters.
Yeah, like there's literally no chapters. Because I was like, okay, recently I bought a walk pad. And so every morning my like routine has been walking and reading. And it is so enjoyable. 10 out of 10 recommend. And so I was like, oh, well, I've already been walking for like an hour or whatever. And I was like, well, I'll just wait till the end of the chapter. And I was like, hold on a second. I've been reading for an hour and I don't remember coming across a chapter. So how am I going to stop at the next one? So I start flipping through and I'm like, oh my God, there are no chapters in this. It's only just like 3 sections. And I'm like, okay. So weird.
Could not. My ADHD could not. Like, I have to like reward myself. Like, I know everyone makes those like TikToks. They're like, get off TikTok and keep reading your book. I'm like, you're right. I was supposed to be reading my book. I need to get off TikTok. But sometimes I'll literally like, if I'm in a bit of a slump, I'll like homework wise, like you need to read this many chapters, and then you can just like check TikTok. You can just check, and then like it's the reward. Or like if I'm like trying to sleep, but I know I'm like not like, I'll limit the number of chapters I'm allowed to read, so I have to go to bed.
Yeah,
but yeah. Oh no,
it's been a strange journey, but semi enjoyable.
Okay,
semi.
It's just like, it's so different than what I normally read, and I think it's not having you don't have like a direct point of view, because it's just sort of like a narration of like all the characters, what's happening. So you don't get like inner thoughts, which, yeah, I haven't read a book like that in a hot minute. I actually can't even think of the last book that I would have read like that.
I can't name one.
Besides like a textbook.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sure you didn't like pick up somebody like.
No, I swear it's not a textbook. But it definitely is giving like, this could be read in school. Yeah. We'll see when I'm gonna finish it for sure.
I'm really enjoying, speaking of historical fiction, like I'm kind of enjoying like content in general that's like history related, like, or like if I'm reading fantasy, I realize I'm like really enjoying fantasy and like specific period time pieces right now. And I don't know don't know what that is, what that means. It does mean like that everything on the TBR that I said I would read, I am not reading. I just like can't, I don't know what's going on right now. Like I can't get into regular like romance. I don't know if my life just feels like so chaotic right now that I like also need my books to match my energy. And so I feel like my life is chaotic and crazy right now. And so like I also just need like a world where the stakes are high and like, you know, I just can't like, I know people use like escapism, but right now like I'm literally like I can't get behind, you know, your miscommunication trope right now. Like literally just get it together. Like I find myself, so I'm trying to hold off on some of like the ones that I'm really excited about romance wise until that like feeling subsides. But yeah, I've been heavy into fantasy that I didn't think I would be. I think Devon literally said it's not the season for fantasy. And I said, is it? Is it not? Because like that's all I've been reading. I did finish A Fate Inked in Blood.
Oh, did you?
Really good. And speaking of time period, that one's Vikings. And I don't know about you guys, but I did watch that. I think the entirety of, I forget what platform made it, but the Vikings TV show that was really popular quite a few years back. But like, I literally, having recognized and heard like all of, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I don't know why more fantasy novels are not placed. And then immediately fell down because I started seeing more recommendations of other like Viking time period fantasy books. So I think I'll probably pick up one of those here soon. But no, it was really good. Really fast. My only bone to pick, and we're not going to like ratings or anything, is that I did kind of like see all of the plot reveals coming at the end. I was a little like, there was not one, but it wasn't bad. It was kind of like, you know, when it felt like I was being rewarded, right? Like, good, you caught that. Here it is. Here's your confirmation. I just would have liked a little more of a surprise in the end. So I don't know if it's maybe because it's a genre I read a lot, and that was like I picked up on all the hints pretty obviously, but still enjoyable. Cannot wait for the next one.
Well, you must be just a very smart gal, because all the reviews I've seen are like, oh my god, gasp, that ending. Can't believe it. Didn't see it coming. And so I've been like, oh, that's the book I'm reading next because I need that.
Well, okay, so we all need to read that. Like, we definitely need to, we'll have to do a full episode on it. I think, because I would love to dive into, like, there were a couple moments where I was like, there were hints, and then I don't know if it just we're so in tuned, especially after reading House of Sky and, any of, like, the Crescent City novels, Iron Flame, like, being so here for, like, oh, like a little slip of the tongue here or a little insert there, or we're just like really knowledgeable on like nothing is mentioned without purpose, and everything that was mentioned I was like, oh, yeah. So
I don't have a mystery background.
That's true.
Even when we annotated and you would guess, you'd be like, oh, this is happening, I'd be like, I would have missed that. Like you pick out like in the writing those like little random like info dumps.
And do you want to know what got me like out of my recent reading slump is I went back to that genre and I listened to the audiobook None of This Is True.
None of This Is True?
Yeah, I'm literally like I think I know the author, but I'm like, it's one I always like read before, and I want to make sure that I have, yes, Lisa Jewell. None of This Is True. It was so good. Like,
oh, is it a murder mystery?
Yeah. And
okay.
It's two women's POVs, and one of them is very unhinged, and the other is sort of like, yeah. Anyway, it just like I was realized I was in a slump, and I was like, it was nice to just like have like kind of like I guess it was a palate cleanser in a way. And then after that, it just started. I don't know. Then I went right to fantasy, I guess. And then I'm also reading. Have you guys heard of Fear in the Flame? I think is what it's called.
Fear in the Flame.
I have to always see covers. I can never remember titles.
I think I literally left it downstairs because I fell asleep reading it last night.
I'm looking at
Fear the Flames series. But it...
No, I don't think
so. Okay, I saw a couple people reading it on...
Show Devon. She missed it.
I was trying to look it up. I'm just getting...
Reflections. It's not like a very...
I don't think so.
Cover. But I saw a couple... it's by Olivia Rose Darling. I saw a couple people reading it. And again, I guess I was just like, yes to fantasy all the time. So I ordered it immediately. I
think I have it. No, I think because she's on TikTok, isn't she?
Probably. I saw it on Bookstagram first.
I think I like follow her, and I was like, "Oh, she wrote a book," and I got the book.
That kind of checks
sounds
out.
Right.
Look,
that sounds right. Yeah, of course you have it.
But yeah, it's pretty good. I think I'm like into the last part. I do really like it. I'll let you guys. We'll update later when finished. But
yeah,
I will say I think Heartless Hunter is really like I get why it's starting to get talked about and people are like it's worth the hype as of right now. Obviously I haven't finished it yet, but it's finally a true enemies to lovers, like high stakes actual enemies. And I literally just went on a rant recently about how I hate when people are like it's like this and then they mess with your perceptions of it, but I'm immediately going to renege on that and tell you what it reminded me of or why I'm like, why am I so into these two? And from Six of Crows, Nina and
Shut up.
Yeah. It's so like, cause they were to me like the true enemies to lovers in Six of Crows. Like they like literally were like made to like hate each other. And I was like, I just haven't seen that kind of animosity, that real enemies, in a pretty much, I just can't think of another book like that. And then this is the first time. It's not the same story, but it's very similar in terms of like the stakes and the setting. And yeah, it's really good. And the Heartless Hunter, which I didn't really pick up on this vibe when I started it, it's like kind of set in like Bridgerton-esque era. Like there's a lot of balls, there's social etiquettes and things like that, and there's courting and things of that nature, and
oh my God,
dance cards maybe. Like that's the time again, feeling like the historical fiction is just really calling.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, we should do that or Fate Eats in Blood for an it book, I think.
For sure.
Yeah.
They're both good. They're both like, yeah.
We'll talk about it off, but
we can take it to Instagram too. Do a little poll.
Ooh, a little poll. Yeah. Sounds good.
Then we don't have to choose. Let other people choose.
Exactly. You know what? Actually, that's perfect because I hate making choices.
From the minute I wake. It's just a series of me not wanting to make
decision paralysis. But speaking of Bridgerton, there's been so much promo for the new season coming out. Getting very excited. But I will say the one thing in the promo that I have seen that is driving me up the freaking wall is the promo for the Ruggable Bridgerton carpets.
If I see that tea spilling one more time, it's washable. I know. I
can't. Like, if I see one more goddamn ad, I'm going to lose my shit.
They must have put a lot of money into this collab. They're like, this is it for us.
I know, but it's like, it's every like 3 videos. I'm like, I swear to God, like, I thought the algorithm, if I swipe away after a certain amount of time, it's going to like just take it out of my feed. No, they're like, actually, I don't think you saw this yet. I don't think you saw this. You might have seen this, but let's show it to you again. I'm like, damn, do I need a Bridgerton rug? Like,
no,
maybe I do.
You know who haunts me, and I hope it's not just me, is the Jolie showerhead people. Leave me alone.
The recent one, she's like outside after, like, she's like out of the beach and like showering outside. I'm like, I live in the city. I don't need an out head shower. Like, I don't know who you think I am. You got the wrong bitch. I cannot.
Oh my God.
Also, like, yeah, there's no like opting out, which again, too funny. And no, I actually restarted watching season 1 of Bridgerton last night, like as background, you know, kind of like sometimes I have it on while I'm reading. Sometimes I just need something to not pay attention to while I'm on my phone. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm so excited. Like I hadn't even started thinking about soundtrack. Like we're going to get a whole new bunch of like Vitamin String Quartet songs. And I'm like, ooh, what are they going to be? Like which one? And you know, which Taylor Swift song will it be? And I'm really excited for all that. It's just fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be in 2 parts, which is going to be so annoying when it comes out.
I did not know that.
Yeah. They're dropping like the first part in, what is it, like May 17th or something? I can't believe if that's the actual date. I have a problem. But if that's not, yeah, in May, and then like the other part is in June. So there's like quite some time in between. It could be like 2 weeks because if it's at the end of May, whatever. But yeah, it's going to drive me crazy. Because I know they're going to do it like on a nice little cliffhanger.
You know.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny that we used to wait like weeks for the next episode. And it would be like a whole thing. Oh, like Friday, can't do anything. Watching Pretty Little Liars on Friday. Like, and now I'm like, if I don't have it all within the same day, I'm going to throw a fit.
I'm going to lose my shit.
No, I was just thinking about this, and Aaron won't let us like watch like if like one of my like for example, we love Ghosts, the TV show, and it came back recently with new episodes, and I was like, oh, it's back, and he's like, you know, we can't start that until we have a backlog of at least 4 episodes. I'm like, are you sure we can't just like watch it? He's like, you know how it feels to finish 1 episode and feel like you have to wait. Like, that's not how we do things anymore. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. But we literally do not watch some shows to like let them build up.
Oh my God.
It's so wild.
That's like, so that's going to be the problem when House of Dragon comes back. I'm so excited about, and that's going to be episodically every week, a new one dropping, and just don't have the patience for that.
I do enjoy, we had like rituals around that, which kind of takes me back to, remember, like everyone would either go to people's houses or come together to watch things live. And we tend to do that on Sunday nights, like actually have get-togethers. So I hate the waiting, yes, but I'm looking forward to that like ritualistic or Sunday evening.
True.
This is what we're
because
doing.
That means I'll be making specialty cocktails, having fun dinners. Because we were, Eddie and I were recently rewatching it. And like one night when we watched like 3 episodes back to back, we were like, let's make this a little fun. And so we got like traditional like English food from like from a local pub. And we got like English beer, like Boddingtons, we got Peronis, we found a House of Dragon beer.
Checks out.
Apparently that exists.
Okay.
Or maybe it was Game of Thrones. I think it was Game of Thrones, but you know, same thing nonetheless. So we're just like la la la, watching all the episodes. Fun times. I love a good specialty cocktail, you know. Just love it so much.
Themed nights, just fun. Yeah, we like taking anything and making it a big deal. That's like, it's fun.
Yeah. Slay. Oh my God. There was something you mentioned. Oh, the waiting period. Oh my God. Okay, so you guys know the most recent news from Rebecca Yarros, Onyx Storm, her 3rd book in the Empyrean series, was announced. And obviously some mixed feelings on that. But I had posted this video and someone was like, yeah, now we have to wait 9 months. And I was like, and I'll wait 9 more. Okay? I will wait 9 more. I'll make it 18 months if that book is good.
What is the rush? I understand the what? Like, I understand. But have we not learned about what happens when you rush a book? Have we not learned the chaos? And what's so funny is this is still, like, kicking up so much chaos. I'm already getting emails about, like, I got an email from my bookseller for Blush that was like, we don't have the ISBN yet, but don't you worry, you can order. And I'm like, everybody, take a breath. Like, take a breath.
That means on their side, they're getting bombarded with questions about pre-orders.
I'm having people reach out to me saying, when can they pre-order? And I guess that's different because everyone thinks, like, the online, and there's that, like, everything was selling out. I get where the chaos and the anxiety, the PTSD maybe is coming from with this book series. But I'm gonna be like, you realize that, like, I can't even, like, order it yet. Yeah, I can't as a bookseller order it yet, and there will be plenty. Like, no, and I honestly think the wait this time is less about, like, her finishing and writing and editing. I think it's about them trying to meet the inventory demand this time, like making sure they have enough time to print enough books. Because obviously, at this point, you'd be in denial to not be prepared and not know what to expect and how many books you need. So I think that's part of the reason why it's 9 months. But to me, I'm honestly not surprised by it.
I'm not surprised because the way she responded when finishing our promo for Iron Flame. She was like, I haven't started yet. It's going to be a minute. And I'm like, yeah, I hope so. Because even 9 months is a huge turnaround for such a big novel. And I don't mean that by word count. I mean by how the monstrosity of the press is around it. I'm honestly very nervous because I do not think it's enough time. I think, like you're saying, it's enough for them to get their shit in order. But I'm like, does Rebecca have her shit in order? And that's what I'm worried about, because I worry about her and her mental stability. And I hope she's doing okay. I hope she does a phenomenal job in writing it. I will be in her corner. I'm just concerned.
Someone said, like, oh, what happens if Sarah J. Maas releases her next book, like, same time period as the next Fourth Wing? And I was like, Sarah wouldn't. She's going to take her time, and we let her take her time. Like, We're not getting a book in January. But it's, like, weird that everyone is like, we're okay with that, and we, like, expect it, but then we're like, Rebecca, where's the book? I'm like, can everyone just calm down?
But I don't know. I think that same, like, sentiment is towards SJM, too. Like, give it to us now. Give it to us now. And I'm like, how can you expect a masterpiece to be written in less than a year? Like, are you joking me?
I mean, I get it. I get the, like, wanting to push and, like, feeling like, I think someone, and then, of course, we're just some people. I mean, now when you talk about the SJM fandom, it's so big. Like, you can't put us all in one bucket anymore. I think there's so many sects of, like, segregated portions of people who are like us, who are like, take your time, make it good, I will be here. And then you have people who I literally saw were showing the publication dates of all of the other ACOTAR books and, like, the time in between, and kind of making a big statement of, like, look how long we're waiting now. Look how fast she was publishing books in this period. And, like, look how long. And it has slowed down, but she also had 2 kids. It's also a bigger book, which to me, I agree with you, Caity, and, like, I'm a little worried for Rebecca. Is, like, I think now Sarah has a very big understanding of her responsibility, the level of people, the scrutiny she's under. Because remember, like, the bigger you get as an author, the more people are there to hate on you and try and tear you down and look for plot holes. And, you know, it's cool to hate something when it gets super popular. Like, I think the time it's taking Sarah now makes sense for how big her books are getting. And, like, I still agree. Like, I think Rebecca could use a few more months even. Like, because to sit with what's, like, the success. Because I think the wild thing about the Empyrean series is how broadly popular it is. Like, me and my friend groups, I've, like, literally tried to, like, you know, I always mention people, like, read the, like, ACOTAR, read all these, like, for people who don't read, and they're always like, should I? And I'm like, you definitely should. Literally, those same girlies have never picked up ACOTAR, but are coming to me wanting to talk about the Empyrean series. Like, it pierced some sort of, like, popularity bubble where it's, like, reached literally everyone. Every book club, everybody. So I don't know. I'll probably love it, but I know I have something that I saw last night on Book Talk that I debated. But do you ever, like, see something and you're like, I need to sit with my feelings, so I feel strongly like this is, like, I'm never one to comment. Like, my emotions never lead me there. Like, I'm never going to interact in the comments of something I see. But I immediately got off TikTok and was just, like, sitting with my thoughts for a second. And I think it might be relevant to bring up today because in a previous episode, we very nonchalantly I don't know, I don't want to speak for Devon because I don't remember if you made clear how you felt, but I know Caity and I were very much, we are not about the pregnancy trope. Not here for that trope. And that being said, I saw a post, and I'm not going to talk about the creator. I'm just going to kind of reiterate what the post was about. And it just said it was like a slides. And the first thing it said is, like, pregnancy is not a trope. And they went on to explain that they feel like it is, as a mother, this creator, person who's posting this is a mother. She feels that it's offensive for people to say that, to kind of dumb pregnancy and motherhood down to a trope. And for a quick second, I sat with that and I was like, oh no. Because, you know, sometimes you're like, oh, did I, like, you know, you don't want to, I mean, we all sometimes say things and then later go back and be like, okay, there's probably a more nuanced take. I should have thought about that. For, like, a nanosecond, I was there. And then I started to kind of read the caption more, see this creator interacting. Some other things were said that kind of got me going, if you will. There was an assumption, one, that most of the people that are using the term pregnancy trope or saying they don't like it are people without children, which I was like, whoa. You started out with some, like, which should have been like a good conversation, and then you very quickly kind of turned it to me in a way that's like, whoa. People having kids or not having kids, first of all, you don't know if it's by choice. So you should not be putting people in one bucket. Those that do not have children, you can't say that's all by choice, for one. And two, I think you're adding a negative connotation to trope that does not exist. A trope is not a negative thing. It is just a literary device. So by saying that people, I get if you're saying people don't like the pregnancy trope, are you saying, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think I get what you're saying. And I think on the flip side, then if you're saying that the pregnancy trope has a negative connotation, then wouldn't all of the love inspired tropes have a negative connotation? And then are you putting down love? Like, are you saying that, like, friends to lovers, fuck being friends, hate that? Like, screw your love story is not as significant as my love at first sight trope. Like that, it's on the same page. I understand it can be a very sensitive subject, but I don't think it needs to be, and I don't think it needs to be taken that seriously. Like, it's fiction at the end of the day.
And I think she's grouping in, like, pregnancy trope with, like, being a mother and having kids and everything. Well, like, I like the single, like, mom, single dad story plot line. I like when they have kids sometimes. Pregnancy trope to me is when they're dating and then she accidentally, like, it's not a planned pregnancy. It just happens. And then, but, like, to me, that's the pregnancy trope. And I don't not like it because I don't like kids and I don't like babies. Like, that's not it. That's terrifying to me. And I don't want to read it because I see myself in characters. And that's just something that I wouldn't want happening in my life. So I don't like reading about it because it has nothing to do with being a mother or having kids. I just I would not like that surprise in my life. And I don't like the surprise in my book. And
so what you're saying is that you don't like when pregnancy is used in that way as, like, a plot point, because that's what a trope means, is that you're using pregnancy to move the story along. It's not that, because there's children and people get, like, I've read stories where I feel like the pregnancy was not, for example, Out on a Limb. Like, I even said in that episode that I really love that. And because pregnancy was not used like a trope. It was not a pregnancy trope. Technically, in the way that you're mentioning, Devon, she does get pregnant unintentionally. You're very aware of this from the start of the book. If you're going into it, you know what you're signing up for. But the way the pregnancy was handled was not in a way that I find, like, when I say I don't like the pregnancy trope, I don't like the way that it's used a lot of times, more so in, like, fantasy, where it feels like you have, I would love recommendations where it's done well, because all I can think of is, like, moments where it's literally thrown at us. Like, one, it's like the character has not, if the character said, I cannot wait to be a mother, I can't wait to experience this, like, and then they got right. I feel like that's so much different than, like, oh no, like, I think it's maybe the oopsie pregnancy too, and the way that it's either handled or the way that it's done, that I just, like you, Devin, that stresses me out. I don't need that.
Because it's always negative. Like, it's like, fuck, I got pregnant. Like, it's never, like, that's what I don't like. It's stressful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and I think there's a difference between when you say trope and representation. So I think what this person really should have said is, like, people being offended by pregnancy or motherhood having representation in books, which is nothing I would ever say that is an issue to me. I think is what she's kind of feeling like. This is representation for her. Like, she's excited to see this in books because she relates to it. And to me, I'm all for that kind of representation. I'm not against that. I'm just against, like, the way that they use it. Like you said, it's either like, oh no, are we going to be together forever now that we have a baby? And, like, I don't know. It's kind of flippantly. I mean, I know it's the big plot point in some things, but I think there's, like, a whole lot of nuance missing from this post that I saw. And what sucks is, like, I saw a few people try and kind of, like, come at it from I just don't, like the pregnancy trope, but most people were like, I love seeing it in books because I'm a mom. And I'm like, I think you guys are saying you like representation. You don't, just because you like it in books doesn't mean you don't have to ascribe to both the pregnancy trope and agreeing that you like it in books. Like, there's something missing there. And I, as someone who's now come out, I guess now multiple times to say that they don't like the pregnancy trope, I just want to be clear by what that means. In this.
Well, with that being said, I did buy Ready or Not.
Same. Okay, you're saying I'm pregnant.
Oh my god! I take back what I said.
I got accidentally pregnant. No, not in the year of 2024. No, but I did buy Ready or Not, and I don't think I'm ready to read it, but God, I would feel so pressured into it because everyone's like, it's so good, and I'm like, from like our last conversation, I was like, damn, maybe this is the one that'll change my mind, and that remains to be seen. But I did buy it, and it's so cute, and the book is so floppy, you know, just it feels good in your hand, so I'm just like, you know what?
I know that's what I thought I was going to read immediately, but I just, maybe it's like maybe that's not the chaos I need. I need like fantasy chaos in my life, but I feel like when you hear it's good, like that's when I'll read it. And like, so that's why I did not think I would like out on a limb, and I was like rushing through to get to the end of it. And I think this is going to be similar for me. It's going to be in that, like my pass basket, if you will, of pregnancy tropes. Probably because of the way the author is handling it. And like the way they're presenting it, because I think we have just all been victims of, I think, a poorly executed pregnancy trope.
I think that goes with every trope in existence. Like, there's a good way to do it, and there's a bad way to do it. And I think that one is just such a hot topic that it like comes like to mind every single time, because most of the times it's like you're like phasing a character out, or you're like making a reason for these two characters to be together, and I don't think that should be the case with a child, and I think that's where it gets a little messy. But we'll update if I enjoy Ready or Not.
Let me know when you start. Like, I think I wanna let's buddy read.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, I need to have someone, like, if I get to a point I'm like, I can't do this.
I say we buddy read, and then what am I saying? Ooh, a book episode to come for one of the two, and we'll do a poll on Instagram. Exciting.
Is there 3 now that we're choosing from?
No.
Are we getting no.
Okay.
Yeah, no. That was so ugly.
Why did you do that though? Have I ever done that with my kids before?
Apparently it was a go-to for both of us. No.
No.
Oh my god.
On that note, let's end this episode.
But wait, to be clear. Still rolling.
Oh, we are.
No?
Continue what you're saying.
I don't even know now. Oh, okay. Instagram poll. Crimson Moth?
Or Heartless Hunter.
Heartless Hunter or Fate Inked Blood.
Yes.
For It Book.
Yes, definitely one of those.
Then we will all read an update on Ready or Not.
Yes.
Maybe 2 out of 3. Devon,
we won't.
It's like, absolutely not.
I honestly might try the audiobook with that one.
Ooh.
I can tell you I'm not going to read a physical because I'm already like stacked with physicals, but I'll try audiobook.
Okay.
I think that's an excellent idea. Amazing. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.